We are Popcorn, Piss, and Vinegar, giving you a raw take on movies, television, and pop culture. My name's Chris.
My name is Scott.
My name is John, JB4 Buyer.
And
fourth.
Are you sneaky today, huh?
Yeah, just to like prove to be the other half of like what sounded like overmodulation.
Speaking of sneaky, I got a text from our good friend Chad Lott over from Scary Thoughts. Chad's going to be in town in a few weeks.
Oh, righteous.
He wants to sit down with us, but he wants to go to a movie with us.
Okay.
And actually see something at the theater, and so we can come back and shit on it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
He also told me that Thor Ragnarok is now his favorite movie out of the Marvel, and I disowned him. I totally fucking disowned him after he told me that.
I watched that again this weekend, so I can relate.
I think it's a blast.
I do too.
I will say this: when it comes to world building, it's got to be top 3 as far as like world building, like you know, like the whole Devil's Anus thing and the garbage planet and all that shit. I mean, as far as like the backgrounds and that kind of stuff, yeah. I mean, top 3. Top 3. I'd say I would probably say Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, not the second one. Mm-hmm. Ragnarok and Infinity War. I would say as far as like the aesthetics of the worlds, amazing, absolutely amazing.
I love Ragnarok. There's only one thing that bothers me, and I only caught it the second time because Scott pointed it out, which is that the Hulk is auto-tuned, which is the weirdest choice. Like, oh, it's weird.
It is
really
weird.
bizarre,
It
but...
is.
Yeah. So is he auto-tuned as in they auto-tuned Ruffalo's voice, or is it? I think it's Ferrigno that continues to do his voice.
Oh,
really?
No.
Well, they pitch shifted whoever performed, but you hear like
okay. Because I know that Ferrigno did his voice in Incredible Hulk and both of the Avengers movies.
Holy shit! Okay,
now, I don't know if Ferrigno did his voice for Ragnarok. I don't know. I'll have to look that up and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, really, all he had to say in Infinity War was no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much Hulk smash.
Yeah.
But in Ragnarok, though, he's got actual dialogue, you know.
He does.
So you can tell it's a little auto-tuned and modulated.
I can't understand why.
I don't either.
I don't know.
If we're going to jokey joke through Thor, what I thought would have been great is that if the Hulk would have had a conversation with Thor and gave him Mongo's dialogue from Blazing Saddles.
That hurts.
You know? Hulk just pawn in game.
There you go.
That would have been fucking great.
Of life.
All right. Let's get on to some news and some trailers and junk. Trailers. Did we see the Halloween trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, old maid Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Instead of old man Logan. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks interesting. It looked interesting for the first 10 to 20 seconds, and I was like, "Hey, it's Halloween."
Yeah.
You know,
it reminds me of like Terminator 2, basically.
There's nothing wrong with Terminator 2.
Well, I mean, there's wrong with it now because I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. It looked like Terminator 6.
Oh.
Okay. So, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are fine. It looked like Terminator 6 meets True Lies.
Genesis.
Yeah.
All I know. Well, I mean, this probably doesn't. I'm sure you can come up with counter anecdotes to prove me wrong here, but I know that John Carpenter gave his seal of approval for it, and he did the soundtrack. So. That seems like an endorsement.
If it gets good reviews, I'll go see it. If it doesn't, I won't cry about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll wait for video. I won't go see it at the theater. But I mean, if it looks like it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that, I can get access to. I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, the original movie's a masterpiece. Everything that's come after that, I don't know, man. It's just this nostalgia train, I guess. It's just. All this different shit now.
This nostalgia?
Yeah. I mean, and also this nostalgia. I mean, prime example, in a bikini, Reese Witherspoon takes to Twitter floating around in her pool, which I have to admit, she still rocks the bikini with no problem.
Okay.
But she says that it is official that they're going to release Legally Blonde Part 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, cool. But I mean...
I didn't know there was a 2.
It was actually quite... entertaining, yeah.
Oh, was it?
I like the first one.
Yeah.
I think the first one's bouncy. It's an all right movie. I mean, it's fun. You know, it's a fun date movie. But I mean, as far as part 2, I never did see. But I mean,
There's a lot of worse movies that could be put out.
Maybe I may watch it now, just out of curiosity.
It's like Kevin Smith said when he was asked to write Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. Didn't Beetlejuice, the first movie, say everything that it needs to say? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
This is a good segue for me to sneak in here that if you want to see something new and not quite so nostalgic, though there are some, it reminds me of some older stuff, but I saw Upgrade and it rocked.
That's awesome.
It was very, very good. As I told you guys, it's like the world's best episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really good. It's really good.
Is it right before we started recording this, we were talking about a genre known as cyberpunk. And it's kind of I wouldn't really say that there is a true cyberpunk movie as far as the genre. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that obviously influenced that genre. I mean, I'd say that like Blade Runner, The Matrix, those things kind of fit into it. Would Upgrade be like a cyberpunk movie?
I'll put it to you this way. If RoboCop's a cyberpunk movie, then yes. It is very RoboCop in terms of structure.
Okay. I would say that RoboCop definitely fits in the cyberpunk. Yeah, it fits in that genre. That's well, cool, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see Bumblebee?
What's that?
The Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, there
trailer?
was a Bumblebee trailer also, which okay.
I'll say it looks better than the past 3 Transformers movies.
If that gets decent reviews, I'll go see that.
Oh, totally.
Because it looks
charming.
Yeah, and it's not Michael Bay. Dun dun
Right.
dun.
Yeah, I like the first Transformers movie, the first one, but I don't like anything else that came after.
I actually liked the third one because it showed Chicago getting absolutely destroyed, and I lived there for 10 years. So, it's like if there was a huge action set piece in New Orleans, and you saw One Shell Square and the Superdome get destroyed by Autobots and shit, it'd be like, whoa, that's freaky. So that's totally my bias. It was a shitty movie.
Yeah.
But it was CGI porn, and I loved that.
Well, to round about real quick and talk about, I'm sorry, there is a bona fide cyberpunk movie that is out there, and it's one that I forget about because it sucks, but it's really sad that it sucks. And that would be Johnny Mnemonic. That would be the closest movie to cyberpunk. A movie
it's
with
almost camp right now. If you watch it now,
oh yeah, a movie with such promise that just went to dog shit. I have
you
to
would
admit,
order a pizza.
Oh, dude, Dolph Lundgren is the best thing in that fucking movie, hands down. It's great. The Street Preacher.
Ice-T is not bad. I mean, it's a cheesy, campy film.
No, I prefer coffee. All right, so let's do this. All right. Moving off to the off from trailers here, let's get into some news. HBO announces that their spin-off of Game of Thrones will cover the Age of Heroes that answers questions about Westeros' history and the founders of the ancestral houses such as the Starks, Lannisters, etc., etc., etc.
This reminds me of an Onion headline that said, George R.R. Martin promises fans he will get around to starting the new books this week.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But I think the thing with it is now is that that is something that has grown. It's grown onto its own. I mean, yeah, the books were extremely popular, and yeah, you have the nerd boys that will always sit there and oh well, the books are so infinitely better than the show. But man, the show has kind of grown its own audience now. I mean, does it really fucking matter if he releases those books ultimately?
No,
not at all.
Not to those
cares.
of us that didn't
so
read the books.
I wouldn't say no one cares, but I mean, as far as the health of that franchise, not necessary.
Not the health of the franchise or the size of his paychecks, which is ultimately what matters, which is why a lot of people that grew attached to the books are like, he's not going to write them. But a lot of people who read the books feel not only that book is a better medium, but that they were part of the success that got it to be a TV show, so they feel owed a book. And so, I get why they're pissed.
If I was him and I would do it, I would write the books based on the TV show, but do some derivative type things where he fleshes out a couple characters or maybe some side quests or reasoning for A, B, and C that the TV show may not have gone into. That would be my thing. That way it stays true to what we saw.
good buddy of mine is a big time fantasy literature guy, and he falls in that camp. I asked him, I said, man, what do you think of Game of Thrones, like the show compared to the books? He said, oh, you mean the television show with all the rubber armor and fake looking shit? I'm like, yeah, that show.
Yeah,
He's like, he said, I will give it this. He said the first season, he said, I don't think that like you could make that any better than what was represented in the books. He's like, I mean, everything that they left out of season 1 was pretty much side quest kind of stuff. Yeah. But he said, but everything beyond that, he's like, man, the show has kind of taken a life to its own. And he said, I think the books are infinitely better. But I mean, books typically are, man. I mean, you can flesh out more stuff through a literary medium compared to a visual medium.
Like, it sounds like he sort of lost his way. Like, he created a lot of ancillary characters that don't really matter. And based on everything that I've observed and heard from fans of the book and fans of the show and on the trades, it just sounds like George R.R. Martin had a vague, maybe sort of kind of way to end it, and he never got around to it. He kind of lost his way.
It's like Chris Carter from the X-Files.
Yeah,
I mean, started out strong, and then like, I mean, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't even know what that show was about.
Or
really.
Lost, honestly.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yes, they've admitted it. They've admitted it.
Let's move on to
I'm
the next.
sorry you got
it's something that Scott loves. Yeah, it's something that Scott loves.
Did you finish Lost?
I did.
You finished it.
Yes.
The guy who created Lost, and I found this pretty interesting. Damon Lindelof is guy who's doing The Watchmen for HBO. And I was just reading this interview with him. He said that he's going to do a sequel. What's going to happen is, he said, think of it this way, the original Watchmen comic book is going to be like the Old Testament. He said, I'm going to do a continuation of that story with all new characters that takes place in 2018. So I'm kind of curious to see that, actually. I mean, they did a sequel in DC Comics, but
I was just about to say, isn't that the DC reboots now that they're talking about?
They didn't do a sequel in the DC Comics. What they did was that they took each character and they kind of gave them a it was like a prequel story, and some were continuations, and they kind of did that. But this is going to be something that's like, don't worry about Watchmen being part of the whole DC Comics universe.
Oh, okay.
Treat this like it was the original Alan Moore work, and we're going to do a sequel to it.
The Swatchman.
Yeah. Swatchman. Which is pretty fucking cool. I mean, I'm down for seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, it's HBO, so I'll give anything a shot.
And they got some pretty cool actors in that, man. They got Don Johnson in it. They got they got Regina King and also Louis Gossett Jr. Which he's been in a lot of shit, but dude, he is such a fucking great actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I'd like to see him doing this kind of material.
I was wondering if he was still around. I was listening to a podcast called 80s All Over, and they were talking about an officer and a gentleman and Gossett Jr. The fact he won an Oscar for that role, and I was like, whatever happened to him? There was Enemy Mine, and then gone.
Oh, dude, Enemy Mine is a fucking
great movie.
Gem.
Love that movie.
Gem of a fucking movie.
Iron Eagle.
Oh yeah, dude, Chappie. Fucking right, dude. Horrible, but great movie. You know, I mean, as far as like it's a good '80s movie. Speaking of, I've caught the first 3 episodes of Cobra Kai.
That's too bad.
You watched the first 3. You went from 1 to 3.
I felt like this is the first time through this whole nostalgia train, whether it's Star Wars, whatever it is. I feel like someone
got it right?
No, fucking squeezed 2 movies, Karate Kid 1 and 2. They took those 2 movies, condensed it and forged it into a cudgel to beat the fuck out of me with it. I have never experienced nostalgia so heavy-handed out of any of this shit. I mean, dude, Solo had a lot of shit in it. Dude, and these episodes are only 25 minutes. So you're talking about an hour and 15 minutes. It's like they can't go without making a reference to the first 2 movies. They can't go 5 minutes.
They have the drum?
Right.
No, they don't have that yet.
Okay.
But I mean, they don't have that yet. But
it'll be the last episode.
Oh yeah, it was on that time that me and my friend we went to Okinawa, and this is how he taught me how to make sushi. And then fucking Johnny Lawrence is walking through the hallway and he's like hanging up flyers to get people to join the Cobra Kai dojo.
Because flyers still work.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. That is funny because he's 80s. Because he walks up to these fucking guys playing basketball and they have these two very attractive girls that are sitting on the fucking park bench and these two dudes are shooting hoops. He walks up and he's got like a jean jacket with the sleeves pushed up with the headband on.
Oh wow!
And like he walks up to him and he walks up to these two guys playing basketball. He's like, "See those two chicks over there? You want to make them yours? Hey man, look, you need to just learn how to kick some ass." And he hands the kids the shit, and the kid looks at the flyer and he's like, "Karate, huh? Yeah, that's awesome. Look, yeah, we were just gonna go like kind of talk to him. Oh, nice headband by the way. So it's on
YouTube Red.
Yeah, it's on YouTube Red, which the first 2 episodes you can watch for free.
Yep.
The 3rd episode I had to go find through other means, but yeah, I watched.
But you went to the trouble of finding it through other means.
Well, I mean, Chad Lott tells me that past the 2nd episode, it kind of forgets a little bit about the movie. I found it was just as much with it's just like it bludgeons you.
Well, it's been getting all kinds of high reviews and love from all over the internet.
Then why didn't it get... Never mind.
There's a lot of people that I've been... Because, dude, YouTube... Look, why does anything? YouTube might have had a thing landed with them and said, okay, look, we have it here. Look, we want to launch and do our thing. It's like Netflix. We want to launch and do our thing. Bang, we're just going to go after good programming. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go get Arrested Development. That's like one of the first things they did. Arrested Development was a highly, touted show at the time. They went and got that shit, and now, that's the way.
Maybe YouTube Red will do an Iron Eagle revival TV show.
I want Chaz Osborne from fucking Back to School. The character that Zabka played in that movie, the diving guy.
Right.
I want that.
All right.
Zapped, a new generation.
Yeah. That'd be fucking awesome.
Scott Baio can...
Come back.
Yeah, he's going to be the next fucking attorney general. Are you kidding me?
There you go.
So,
Bob Loblaw.
But anyway, through it all, I mean, yeah, we're going off on a lot of paths here. But dude, I mean, look, Karate Kid, it's been getting rave reviews, and there's a lot of people that I've seen just kind of like on the web a little bit and shit, and a lot of them are saying, dude, Star Wars Lucasfilm should take a fucking step and lesson from the Karate Kid fucking show and do it that way. And, I mean, there it is, so.
I guess if they're going to go for nostalgia, they might as well learn from the nostalgia people, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right.
So, Kevin Feige says he's waiting just like us to see if they have access to the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. He doesn't know anything.
Right.
Everybody just keeps...
Speaking of not knowing anything, I read this that I thought was pretty interesting, talking about how Infinity War ended with the mass.
Yeah, huh?
And how...
we can spoil it at this point.
All right, well, anyway, so they talked about the sequels that have been playing, like Black Panther and Spider-Man and whatnot, and Guardians, and they said that even though Guardians, let's say use Guardians, even though Guardians has a sequel, Guardians 3 coming out, that doesn't necessarily take place after Infinity War 3 or 4.
I quote John Byer.
What the fuck ever.
Whatever. What the fuck ever.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's a
Don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
That's pretty
Nerd
much
is Chad actually a really interesting piece in which they theorized how the Marvel Universe could go on if those deaths are permanent. Mm-hmm. And they made a great case. I think it would be franchise suicide, but hey, it's Marvel. They can do what they want. What do I know?
Everybody's coming back, and they'll make decisions from there as to what they want to do.
Exactly.
So, put it this way. I think anybody who has died so far is coming back, and whoever lived is going to be people.
It's going to be a trade-off.
Look, write this in ink. Captain America is going to die in this fucking next movie.
Yes.
Ink.
So, put it in ink. All right, Jeff Johns will no longer serve as Chief Creative Officer for DC. He will remain as a contributor, but comic book legend Jim Lee will take his place and serve as publisher. Johns will remain on with writing deals for comics, television, and movies. It's rumored that he stepped down from this position so he can develop the Green Lantern Corps as a movie. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Give me your Wonder Woman sequel, and I really don't give a fuck about
Right.
anything else. You know.
I'm just waiting for my Joker movie.
Yeah.
oh,
You're talking about the one that Jared Leto has been. They're talking about they're developing
Let's talk
for
about
him.
that. Let's talk about
yeah.
that.
So I guess is this the same one that DiCaprio and
No.
Scorsese were going to do?
No, there's. I kind of
No.
like counted how many Joker movies are in development over at the Warner Brothers studios, and I got it drilled down or narrowed down to about 40. So, the two that I can think of that are kind of most high profile is that there's supposed to be a Joker origin movie that was to be produced by Martin Scorsese and directed by Todd Phillips. Mm-hmm. There's that one. This Joker movie is going to tie directly into the DCEU and serve as a semi-sequel to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But dude, all right, so what is it this week? We had Gotham City Sirens that was going to be a sequel. We had a Harley Quinn fucking movie that was going to be. I mean, look, DC, they just run their mouth. That's all the fuck they do, dude.
Write this in ink. The Teen Titans Go movie will be the highest grossing DC movie so far.
Nah, I'm not going to write that in ink.
Write it in ink.
Not going to write that in ink. It'll do well, but it isn't going to
I won't
gross.
do Wonder Woman movie.
It ain't
Wonder
going to. Yeah, it ain't going to make as much as Wonder Woman. You can write that in ink. That movie ain't going to make fucking $800 million. An animated feature.
Because animated features don't make $800 million, right?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think they do. We'd have to go back and look.
Incredibles.
Yeah, like Toy Story. Or,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean those that are based
Frozen,
on that, but I mean
those
yeah,
type
that
things
based
don't
on
make-
that. But I mean a WB superhero movie that's animated. I mean they've released movies with like marquee shit of like Batman, Superman that has come out of fucking Bruce Timm Studios and it hasn't grossed anything. I think Teen Titans will do well, but it ain't gonna do 800.
Yeah, it'll do better than predicted, I think.
Yeah, it'll do better
don't
than
know.
predicted, but
I'm hoping you're right, though. That'll be a hell of a show.
I think it would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be fucking great if it
would be.
outgrossed that. But I mean, I don't see a show that has like a fucking 1.3 viewership rating doing $800,000 plus. I just don't see it, but hey, I could be wrong. And speaking of movies that nobody wants, Solo nosedive for its third week. It's believed the film won't even make $200 million domestically,
Read that.
and will do less than and will do a third less than Justice League's worldwide gross.
$200 million? It won't break?
Domestically. Won't break that
Domestically?
domestically. Nope. They're saying that worldwide it might not even break $400 million.
400.
Shit,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, well, dude, it fucking tanked. When they released it overseas, it only did $11 million.
Ocean's 8 beat it out this
Ocean.
weekend.
Not only did
Wow.
Ocean 8's beat it out, Ocean 8's came in with The Girls, and it is the highest grossing
Ocean?
film in that franchise.
Oh,
it's
wow.
high.
It did more than Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13 did more than those and went above expectations. It opened up with like 41 million.
Wow.
So, hey, good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is tentpole season.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a movie like, I mean, if you think about them, they're the ones that actually had the perfect release date.
Yeah, right.
Disney's loss was their gain. I mean,
Sure.
everybody came in and saw Deadpool. Everybody came in and saw Infinity War. Granted, those movies are still doing business, but they're not doing the first 3 weeks business like they were before. I mean, you got the nerds that are going to go back for the fourth and fifth viewing of these movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Solo kind of really petering out and really not doing well. I mean, yeah, that's fucking bad, dude. It only did $14 million this weekend. I mean, it is progressively just dropped. I mean, just bad. It's really a shame. It's a fun movie. Really is.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
but hey, look, I mean, it goes back to the old factor. All the shit that we discussed by going and subscribing to iTunes and listening to the last shows from the last 2 weeks.
That's right.
So, Ram Bergman, he is the producer and partner of Rian Johnson. He says that we can expect Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy in the next 2 years. The story will be entirely new with new characters. This news comes on the heels of Ryan Johnson addressing the whole Kelly Marie Tran situation, which they say isn't even really it isn't fuck, I can't think of the right
Use
word.
your words, Chris.
It's not even guaranteed that that's the reason she canceled her shit. Well, I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what they've suspected.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, because they don't want to antagonize a shitty fan base. But you know,
well, no. What I'm saying is that they came straight out and said, "Hey, look, she got rid of it because people were dog shitting on her." But there's really no.
Did
solid...
she come out and say that?
No.
Well, then
no,
because she shut her accounts.
That's
down.
right.
Right, and I mean, not a reps or anybody like that said anything. I don't know. She's probably the bigger person. Why address any of it?
That's what I was about to say. Why open that fucking can when it's already
Daisy Ridley
smelling like shit?
Daisy Ridley came out. She had got rid of her shit also a year ago. But Daisy Ridley said, "What I got tired of is," she said, "Look, I'm a she said it's for whatever her reason is, but she said, look, I don't want to see myself grow up, in this industry in the age of social media." She said it's just it's all encompassing. I don't want to have I got to get it out of my life.
That's fair.
Had nothing to do with anybody busting hut chops or anything, but yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you again, man. I mean, I got to agree with Ryan Johnson on this. He came out and he says, look, it's all just a bunch of disingenuous bullshit. Why you guys are busting chops? If you don't like a fucking movie, fine. But why do you have to fucking rip this girl's head off over that shit?
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I'm just tired of the whole thing. Ryan Johnson, I don't think his trilogy is going to get made. I think that after this thing is done, they're going to take they're going to kind of regroup. I think they're going to breathe a little bit, and I don't think that they're really going to announce. I think that Celebration is coming back next year for 2019. If they announce any type of new movies or anything, it's going to be stuff that is extremely safe.
Celebration next year is going to be one thing and one thing only: their streaming app.
Yeah, that's going to be part of it.
That ain't going to be part of it. That's going to be it.
Well, I think it's all Star Wars. I think they're going to announce movies. I think that you're going to see a lot of things with the new animated series coming out from Filoni. But you're going to see a lot of stuff with Favreau's series.
That's what I mean, they're going to be talking about what's going to be coming online. I think more than talking about what we're putting out in the theater, especially what you just said, based on what you just said. I also feel like that Ryan Johnson movie, his trilogy, is going to get made, but it's going to TV. It's going to streaming. He won't get left out in the cold.
I don't know. I think you're going to see a very safe choice. This is what my prediction is. I think, without question, you're going to see them announce the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. You're going to see that announced.
Yikes.
Yikes, but the fan base has said, we want Ewan McGregor to return as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And the fan base is very, anyway.
Well, I mean, okay, you can say what you want, but I mean, the thing with it is that
when... just literally shit on the fan base for the past
well, Scott, look, okay, so I shat on them, but the thing with it is that there's sensible fans that are out there also that are saying, we want Ewan McGregor to return as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I feel like I'm a sensible fan, and I'm not saying that.
Okay, well, so out of a room of 300 people that all think the same thing, you think different on purpose anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I think they're going to announce the fucking Ewan McGregor movie.
You sound
next
like
year.
a lot of the hating fanboys too, by the way, Scott.
Oh yeah. So look, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to announce Obi-Wan, and you're not going to see anything else that's going to come out after 19. They're going to wait and see how episode 9 goes. And then you're going to see them hold back on the announcements.
I don't know. I think the James Mangold's Boba Fett movie might be. It could be either or, because a lot of people are excited about that too.
Yeah,
and there's reason to be. The guy who directed Logan,
doing the
Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
Like, for once, Boba Fett's not going to be some.
These are the
disappointment.
These are the top 3 things that I see on every Star Wars site. Whether it's a fucking douche fanboy or someone who is totally in love with this series, these are the top things they want to see: Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett, Knights of the Old Republic. Those are the 4 things that you say over and over and over again.
I think the streaming app will be a variable. I also think the park will be too.
That was it.
Oh yeah. The park's going to be huge, because I will say this: going to Disney World earlier this year, regardless of what you felt about Star Wars or anything. I mean, I was in that park a month after that movie was released, in the middle of all that hate. When you went through that Disney World fucking park, Star Wars shit everywhere, and not merchandise. I'm talking people, park guests, customers, racked out in Star Wars shit.
Yeah,
I saw I would probably say at least half of the people I saw in that park had some type of Star Wars, paraphernalia. Whether it was a hat or a shirt or a backpack or anything like that.
It's either Mickey or Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean...
That's it. And it's 50-50, like you said.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that park, and I think the movies, they're going to play it real safe. I mean, I'd say the Mangold things are good, but I think that the Obi-Wan thing, it's so safe.
Yeah.
I mean...
I still think that Han, the Solo movie, would have done a lot better if it got released at Christmas.
Oh, I agree, but I don't think it would have did much better. I don't think so. I think the fan base is really pissed off.
Yeah, we'll never know.
But there's no need to go into all that shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll know. We'll know. We'll know in the next few years what Star Wars really is about. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. It's about making money.
Well, and it's about making money, but they really didn't make a lot of money on this last go around. In fact, they're going to take a loss. Forbes is saying $80 to $100 million loss on Han Solo. So we'll see if things change. So that's pretty much all that shit. Let me see. And last Star Wars news here. They're saying that Kathleen Kennedy might step down as CEO in September, as soon as September. I don't know. I think that's fanboy wish and dreams.
I don't know.
There would be no speculation about her stepping down. I'll put it that way. It's going to be one day she stepped down or she's not. It's not like we're not going to be reading, it might be September or November. It's going to be tomorrow. We'll just get the news. Holy shit. Like Jeff Johns. Holy shit. It's not going to be... that kind of shit ain't getting leaked out. Nobody's whispering those kind of things. It's going to be or it's not going to be.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know how a business executive, and especially an entertainment executive, mind works.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that fucking Pimp and Paint, if somebody came to me and said, hey, dude, we lost 75% of our sales, like in a fucking year, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed off. All right, Quentin Tarantino has officially cast James Marsden in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. No info on who he'll play. Marsden has become extremely busy starring in Westworld and landing the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in an upcoming animated movie. So, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Hey, I think that's cool. I mean, it seems to me if you're an actor, especially if you're an actor that's open to doing a lot of stuff, it seems to me that's the golden ring. You want to be in a franchise thing. You want to kind of do a kid's movie. You want to be in some critically acclaimed shit. You want to kind of spread the love as an actor.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
He was in 30 Rock for like a season and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So
good.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had his share of superhero stuff too. In fact, I mean,
Cyclops.
He was Cyclops, and he was Perry White's son in Superman Returns. Yeah,
that's right.
So yeah, and that was a direct carryover from him working with Bryan Singer. So there it is.
Good. He's great in Westworld.
Yeah, man, that shit. You need to catch up on that.
Yeah, that's next. I'm waiting for it to complete. I want to binge it like all at one time. So
two more episodes, I think.
Yep, two more episodes. There are rumors floating around that 3 might be it.
Oh, really?
They might
3 seasons.
3 seasons and a 3 season.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. Depending on how this season ends, I'm okay with that. So
the same thing with Rome. They released one series. Bruno Heller came out. Everybody said, "Dude, what about season 2?" Don't need to do season 2. We really want you to do season 2. Okay, we're doing one more season. That's it. And they walked away with 2 seasons of fucking brilliant television. Yeah. So
okay.
If they can do the same thing, hey man, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Samuel L. Jackson was asked if he's in talks to be cast in the movie. He said he hasn't heard a thing from Quentin. He's been existing in a bubble since he's been filming Captain Marvel. So. So,
interesting.
There you go.
That would also suggest that he's heavily involved. Like he's got more than just a cameo.
from what they've insinuated, I mean, it's not anything that I've heard, but I mean, it's just what they've insinuated in the press is that Captain Marvel, there's kind of like 3 main characters in this movie. It's the titular character, of course. Sammy J is playing Nick Fury, and Clark Gregg is going to be playing Coulson.
Oh, cool!
So that's the 3 big leads in the movie.
I'm excited.
And also based on the casting, what I think is very cool, the main villain of the movie is going to be Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's
so
good. I'm excited. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. So nice to kind of bring it back around and really cool stuff. Updated cast list for the It sequel. It looks like we finally have it filled out, and there's some interesting credits here, which are going to make you laugh, but it is crazy. I saw somebody who did a side-by-side comparison of the child actors to the people they've actually cast.
Okay.
I've heard someone say whenever you want to cast somebody, it's all in the eyes. You want the eyes to kind of match. Man, I don't know if they got. I don't. The eyes are there, but man, just some of the facial expressions on some of this stuff. Like I'm like, damn, man, it's uncanny.
Is it
what they've chose? But here's their official list. All the kids have been cast, with the exception of Henry Bowers. Henry Bowers is the kid that likes to carve initials in people's bellies. They haven't cast an adult version of him. Bill Skarsgård will return as Pennywise. But here, the big ones I left, but without explanation. But James McAvoy is going to play Bill, who is the leader. He loses his brother George in the first movie. Jessica Chastain will be playing Beverly. Jay Ryan, he's going to be playing Ben, who's the fat kid. He starred as the Beast in CW's revival of Beauty and the Beast. It was very short-lived.
Right.
But you look at the kid opposed to the actor, it's uncanny. It's unreal. Bill Hader will be playing Richie. Richie's the little foul-mouthed fuck.
Yeah.
Isaiah Mustafa, he's going to be playing Mike. He stars on Shadowhunters, and he was the first Old Spice guy. That was kind of how he broke it into. Yeah. And really sadly, man, Mike, that character, totally gets the shaft in that fucking It movie. I like the movie It a lot, but dude, compared to the book, Mike gets zero love in that movie compared to what he gets in the book. I mean, he's the fucking leader, dude, in the adult version. He's what brings everybody back together. So hopefully he'll get more love in this movie as a character, because he certainly didn't get in the first one. James Ranson, he's playing Eddie. He stars as a character named Deputy So-and-so in the Sinister series. The Eddie character is the little hypochondriac kid.
Right.
Andy Bean will be playing Stanley, who is the Jewish kid. He stars in Power on Stars, which is some kind of drama. And that rounds out the Losers Club. So the kids kind of picked who they wanted to play them, and that list would have cost about $30 million.
Exactly.
So they ended up casting. I mean, shit, they got. I mean, really, they were kind of one for one. Well, I think the girl said Amy Adams, right?
Yeah.
Which it's criminal she didn't get it, but I mean, dude, Jessica Chastain's a fine actress. She'll nail it. She worked with the director before, with Andrew Muschietti. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And dude, McAvoy, everything the dude's in touches turns to fucking gold. No matter whether it sucks, he's always awesome.
And if you've seen Barry, you're excited about Hader.
Fuck yeah.
I'm excited about Hader. He's another guy, man. I mean, like that movie with Amy Schumer, that Trainwreck movie, dog shit. But he's fantastic. I loved him.
You should watch Barry. He takes his. That dude is a quality fucking actor.
I'll watch it after Rip, man. Chef and television star Anthony Bourdain has died. He committed suicide by hanging himself at age 61. Another member of the Depression Club, man. Really sad, man, to watch this shit. I mean, it seems like it's just been in the past year. I mean, the designer, Kate Spade.
Yep.
And they said with her, she said that she was actually obsessed with Robin Williams' suicide. And some stuff with that might have kind of led to that.
This is an open wound in social media. Whenever a celebrity kills himself, a lot of people get upset. A lot of people develop relationships with a celebrity, a TV star or whatever.
Right.
And, so it feels like they've lost one of their own, and it ends up becoming this referendum on mental illness and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not going to touch that. What I will say is there is a documentary called The Bridge. Now, some people have a problem with it, and I totally understand why. It is not for everybody. But what they did is they set up, it's a documentary, they set up cameras on either side of the Golden Gate Bridge, because apparently that is the bridge from which the most people kill themselves. Mm-hmm. Statistically, there's some draw to it that's surreal, and they cover that in the documentary. But the documentarians agreed to...
Let me ask you this question really quickly on that speech. The people who are committing suicide off of the Golden Gate Bridge,
yes,
are they San Franciscoans, or do people come from around the country and the world to commit suicide off the Golden Gate Bridge?
Both. I mean,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's something about that meridian that just strikes a chord in people that are very self-destructive.
Yeah, it's like fucking Ghostbusters 1, the transmitter to fucking go to the Gazarian, dude.
It's creepy, but the documentarians did reach an agreement that there is a department dedicated to preventing that from happening. So if they see somebody acting suspicious, they agreed to call them to prevent the suicides from happening. But some people went through with it, and the people that went through with it, they reached out to those families to talk about their depression and why they think that they did. And it is, if you can get over the fact that there is a weird exploitative quality of watching someone jump off a bridge, that it really gives you a very accurate portrait of how difficult struggling with suicidal depression is. And I would recommend it for people that can handle watching people commit suicide. That's the big asterisk, but it's
fucking
intense.
people fucking jumping off of the towers in 9/11, man. I mean, dude, frightening.
Yeah, that's a different animal.
Oh no, it is a different animal. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, those are people who are sitting there saying, "I'd rather jump off the top. I'd rather jump off the top of a building than burn to death." Yeah, that's
no one wants that choice. But this documentary, a lot of people have a problem with it, like I said, and I understand it. But it is an incredibly enlightening. I don't suffer from chronic depression. I never have, and I'm starting to feel like a freak. At least I do when I'm on social media, because it's incredibly difficult. It is incredibly difficult and hard to understand. And sometimes there is no understanding it. It's just a matter of being there as often as you can for people who hurt.
Well, and I've seen a lot of people that are really critical, Zartome, about people who, who follow the, they get affected by celebrity deaths. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, honestly, the Robin Williams one, it affected me for the fact that, I love so much of his movies. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really what it is. I don't think it's anything to where you feel that you personally know or even identify with. Look, honestly, I watch people in movies, and I love the movies they're in, but I feel that I have no connection in knowing who they actually are.
Right.
Obviously, case in point, Robin Williams. I would never thought that a guy like that would have killed himself.
Right.
But I think what it is, man, is that you associate yourself with memories and things like that, either movies or music and actors, and I think that's why it fucks with us so deeply. And it's really a shame. But it's been a strain, man. It looks Anthony Bourdain, it's Kate Spade, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Guys that, especially musicians like Scott and I, man. That you see shit like that, and your heroes. It's kind of like you almost sit there and you look at your heroes and it's like you expect them, like, there's a drug overdose, or they drank themselves to death. It's kind of like, okay, well, finally it fucking got them. But a guy like Cornell, man, it was an overdose, but it was completely accidental. I don't think for a minute that guy wanted to even go.
It was a pharmaceutical misfire.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Which is scary,
Yep.
And there is a morbid sense of curiosity when someone dies. You're like, what happened? How did it happen? Was there a trigger? Because a random suicide is a much more upsetting thing to deal with.
Because people want to know.
Well,
they want to know why. It's easier to accept if I have an answer.
That is correct.
The unknown is way too scary.
That is correct.
Even if the answer is that ridiculous, that you're like, all right, well, aliens came down and told him to do it, I accept that. When not as
Right.
far-fetched as could be. But
Exactly.
they understand that.
But
Right.
I don't even think you'll ever understand. I've had friends.
No, I don't need. That's my point. Like even the weirdest answer is an answer.
Exactly.
I have a friend of mine that lost his mother to suicide and told me, he said, look, honestly, I think that, if there's an afterlife or anything like that, if she was to come and visit me right now and explain to me from her lips why I did this, I still don't think I'd understand. And I mean that's it.
One of the things, and I can't remember if it's in the bridge or not, but there is one person that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge that survived and found a new zeal for life as a result. They basically said about midway down, they were like, "This is a mistake. What have I done?"
So they're like born again Christians, kind of. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's not actually an inaccurate analogy, but that's part of what's really tragic about it is that you don't know how many of these people midway down were like, "What have I done?"
I think the easiest
permanent solution to a temporary problem.
I have a solution for all of it. You get fucking Mel Gibson, you get him to grow the mullet back, and you send him out as Martin Riggs, suicide prevention. Do you want to jump? Do you?
Let's have a cigarette. We can both die of cancer.
Yeah, right. That'd be fucking great. All right, but let's get off this Moreau shit and talk about a different club. The Me Too Club. John Lasseter of Pixar. He stepped down because he admit, hey man, I was sexual misconduct and I was doing inappropriate things to female staff. So that's another esteemed club that we seem to have now, right along with the Depression Club. We have the we have the sexual predator fucking club too, and I mean what's crazy
man.
is
He's the godfather of Pixar.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying, man. And you're talking about people of power. I mean, okay, Kevin Spacey and Louis C.K. and all these fucking guys. Okay, but dude, you're talking about guys like him and Weinstein. I mean, these are powerful fucking men in the industry.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think Lasseter is?
Well, I mean, I
I
don't know. Like,
I think
I
think
think
Lasseter is on like the
on
order
par
of,
with Weinstein.
Well, I'm sorry. In power, perhaps, but in terms of like the scale of their did Lasseter rape multiple women?
Well,
that would be incredibly
we don't know.
fucked up.
We don't know what he's done, and that's the thing. But what I'm talking about,
he's come out in front of this, so we don't know.
When it comes to the thing with him and Weinstein, I would say I'm talking about in political power, not in scope of what they've done. In political power, I would say Lasseter is probably even more powerful than Weinstein.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Was.
So there you go, another one of the esteemed club. But hey, the good news is that The Incredibles are getting fucking great reviews. Yeah. So we'll see how all this goes. I mean, one good blissful blast of a feel-good movie, and we forget about all this bullshit.
Exactly. That's what it's for, really. Going to the movies. Make me feel better, please.
Yeah. So there's all that bullshit. So that's all our news. That's everything. Trailers, all that crap, all that good stuff.
Good stuff.
Did we cover all the trailers?
Did we?
What other trailer do we have?
How do you want to bookend this?
No, I don't.
Let it out now. Fuck.
No, I'm bookending it with Empty MacGuffin. I was just like, wait, isn't there another one? No, there isn't. Just a brain cramp. Sorry.
All right. Well, look, jump over to iTunes. Please subscribe. We'd appreciate if you would write us a review, but look, and at least just give us a star rating. 5 only, please. Don't be a prick and give us like 2 or 3. 5 would be awesome. But that's all right, though. If you give me 2 or 3, you either think that A, the show sucks, or B, you're giving it to me just because I called you a prick. And
that's it.
That's okay. That's fine. That's all right. Hey, look,
YouTube, too. Go to YouTube.
Fuck me. Fuck me. Go to YouTube. And also, jump over to PPVGuys group over on Facebook. Please ask to join. We've
been lazy, so
we've been a little lazy lately.
We promise we'll be entertaining.
But hey, look, jump on and look, stir some own shit, man. Look, we'll bust your balls. You can bust ours back. That's it. You can get another example once again of it's like a lesson in why Scott's wrong all the time.
That's it. If you hate
like
Solo as much as I do, come on board.
It's like an audio book. All right, thanks for listening. End scene.